I know it's supposed to be hot to look dewy. How come every time I try to look dewy, I just feel greasy? Hi. It has been a minute since I've posted. I wanna say it's been 86 days, maybe 87, but the point is Susan Wojcicki is not happy with me, to say the least. In friendship terms, 2 months isn't the craziest amount of time to not see each other, but it does mean we have some catching up to do, and catch up we will. Mustard, we won't. Let's chitty McFreakin' chat. I'm gonna give you my life updates. I really wish YouTube were still two-way and you could still make reaction videos that would appear right below the video. Only 90s kids will remember. But in lieu of that, please comment down below with your life updates. How's your job? How are your friends? How's your love life? How's the city you're living in? How are the holidays? All of that, comment down below. I do my best to respond, and if I don't respond, DM me on Instagram. I'm much more active there. In order to give you the life updates that you'll actually care about, not just I think are fun to talk about, I just pulled a bunch of questions you guys asked me on Instagram, on Twitter. First up, a solid slice of the questions asked my thoughts on the YouTubers who have recently left their 9-to-5s for full-time YouTube work, and basically asked if I would ever consider doing that, since I do juggle a full-time job in sales and this YouTube thing. I don't juggle it very well, but I do juggle it. Funny enough, I actually have very little desire to be self-employed. I like being a part of something bigger than myself. I remember the summer I did YouTube full-time, I was just in a really weird headspace, mainly because I need a lot of structure in my job to feel comfortable and to succeed, and YouTube full-time just wouldn't give me that in the way that I crave. However, does having complete control over your schedule and what you do every day, traveling anytime you want, not having to do what people tell you or ask of you, does that sound enjoyable? Yes, it does. There are really tough days at anyone's job, and when I have one of those, it's easy to fantasize about this easier life that I could have. But honestly, it wouldn't be easier for me personally, and that's why I've never glorified being self-employed, being your own entrepreneur, because I'm too neurotic to be the only employee at my own company and be the one in my own head every day making all the decisions. I genuinely like going into the office and having my team to bounce ideas off of and having this separation between work and home. I don't even enjoy working from home more than 2 days at a time. All that being said, transparently, I don't make nearly enough on YouTube with social media to even consider having that as my full-time job. I like having it as a hobby, having it to balance my day job. It's so different than sales, and I like it for that reason. Money talks. Maybe I'd be saying a different thing right now if I were making 6 figures on YouTube, but I'm not. And honestly, I'm totally okay with that. What do I think about others quitting their 9-to-5s to do YouTube? Well, honestly, it's really incredible to me that this career that didn't exist 10 years ago and was honestly frowned upon when I first started doing it now makes more than a lot of these elite entry-level jobs like investment banking or consulting. It's really cool to have this completely alternative path that you honestly don't need a degree to do. And is it a risk? Yes, but honestly, all of the biggest companies in the world right now were started that very way. The reason I think there's some uproar and negativity is that we're rooting for our working creators to excel in their 9-to-5s, and we want to see that because that's what's possible for us. And it's that relatability factor that is so talked about now. It shocked me to see how many negative comments there were. Like, it would just suck to make such a big life decision and then have all these comments kind of feeding into your self-doubt. That's enough on this topic, but I do see myself continuing to juggle my full-time and my part-time YouTube job together because that's what fulfills me, but it makes a lot of sense to me why YouTubers would leave. Getting right into it, the bulk of the questions were actually about my dating life, asking if I have a dating update, am I seeing anyone? You cannot be on YouTube and not be an oversharer. It is mutually exclusive, so happy to talk about it because honestly that's what I'm always curious about. I love hearing about this kind of stuff. Really not very exciting. My dating life is really in the backseat right now. Can't say I've really been seeing anyone over this past year. I'm just not super motivated to be spending my time actively seeking someone out mostly because I'm in this new city, technically a new city for me, and I really want to make new friends, extend myself, get outside my comfort zone, and do that first and foremost. I'm definitely open to seeing someone. It's just that I'm not on the apps like hunting right now for it. And truly, I don't know if I've ever met someone I've genuinely liked when I was expecting it, looking for it, seeking it. It's always been when I least expected it, which makes it hard. But I would love to go on blind dates or be set up. That just sounds really exciting to me for some reason. So if you know of anybody in SF that you think I get along with, let me know. Taking a hard left to talk about my career. I got some questions about if I'm gonna stay with my current company, what's in my 5-year plan, am I going to get my MBA still, all of that good stuff. And it's honestly kind of similar to the dating question in that as of right now, I don't really have any plans to change companies. Fortunately, I feel really supported and challenged at work, and I do have some good opportunities ahead of me. My company just does such a great job of taking care of everyone's mental, emotional, physical health. They had a hot chocolate bar at work last month, healed me in all 3 of those health categories, I have to say. For the near future, I'm not expecting to make a change there. As far as MBA, it might be kind of surprising, but I actually don't have that on my radar at all for a couple of reasons. Number one, I've had quite a few mentors over the past few years not get their MBA or any graduate degree for that matter, and they still got to where they want to be in their career, whether that's like CFO or VP of sales. Number two, I would need to have a very proven out ROI for why I was getting the MBA. Most likely, I would only really get it if I wanted to make a pivot in my field, like I wanted to go into marketing or product or something very different like that. Or if I, for some reason, needed the MBA to get a further promotion, if I even wanted that. I'm not looking to change my career track right now, which is why I'm not eager to get my MBA, and it's just a shit ton of debt, which really horrifies me. I've been saving up over the past 2.5 years that I've been employed, and to think that all that money would be drained plus a huge amount of loans on top of it to get this degree is very scary to me. So I love me some education, you guys know that, but sometimes you have to think about the 2 years you're not in the MBA and you're still in the working world. Those 2 years, your salary might naturally increase more than your salary would bump up with the MBA. It might work out like that. You guys also wanted to know how it's going with my roommates. It has been officially 7 months in my apartment and it's going super well. Thank you for asking. We just get along really well. We're on similar modes in terms of when we wake up, when we go to sleep, like our work schedules. We're all totally cool with having people over, having friends stay over from out of town, but it's not like anyone's pre-gaming on a Tuesday night or like stomping at 3 a.m. Like really can't complain. All the boxes I could think of for roommates, they're all checked. Everyone's very clean, super organized. I'm just really happy with how it turned out. This question must have been from someone very wise. The question is, am I fulfilled? Which honestly, not enough of us ask that to the degree that we should. I think I go through phases of being fulfilled. Right now I fell the frick off of it because I've been slacking on YouTube. And like, did I have valid reasons for slacking on it? Yes, but it still makes me feel unfulfilled when I can't engage with this very important part of my life. It's a huge community for me and it's like I said, a passion, a hobby of mine. So I just feel really off when I don't have that in check. Thanks for asking. At this point, I wanted to mention the sponsor of our episode, which is Skillshare. I've worked with them before and I continue to work with them because talk about fulfillment, this is one way that you can fill a huge gap in your life by taking a class. Skillshare is a huge online learning platform with thousands and thousands of classes and all sorts of different topics. It doesn't have to be a coding class, it could be interior design, it could be personal finance, it could be photography, it could be career-based or not. They're short classes, you can do them after you get home from work. You can do them in your own time and it's super affordable, especially when compared to some of the streaming platforms we may be paying for. Your girl actually started her interior design class yesterday because this room is not done and does not look great. So Thanks Skillshare for helping me with that. I do have a link that I'll put in the description for 2 months of free premium membership. That means unlimited classes. If you like the 2 months free, it's under $10 a month for an annual subscription after that. It's 2020, it's a new decade. This can be a really great way to feel a sense of accomplishment and pride where you're still learning, you're still growing. Skillshare can help you do that. Another question was around how I stay confident. I guess I seem confident. I definitely have my days and or weeks where I question if I'm good at my job, if I'm good at YouTube, if I'm good at anything, we all have our spiraling moments. And I think how I get myself back on my feet and stay confident is self-awareness. For me, that's the direct link where the more I know myself, the better in tune I am with where I'm actually at, the better I feel. The more I feel like I can walk into a room and know my value, know my purpose, know what I bring to the table. Self-awareness I built a lot through journaling, a lot through talking to this camera and talking to you guys, because I'm watching hours and hours of footage where I'm seeing all of my nervousness and all of my tics, and I just get to know myself a lot better by honestly spending so much time with me and my YouTube self. So I think journaling is probably the most approachable way to start getting in tune with yourself. Reading your thoughts from a week, a year, 2 years ago just shows you so much about your growth, who you used to be, who you are today, how you've changed. Like, there's nothing more accurate than a stream of thought like that. But also just getting feedback. Like, I love to have really honest friends who will give me the feedback of if I traveled well with them one weekend, if I've been supportive, if I've been reaching out as much as I have. I love to get feedback, so that's another way. But I always just sort of think I'm gonna be confident when I'm 30, I'm 35, I've been in the working world for a decade, I have all my shit together, but like, I don't think it works like that. Let me know if I'm wrong, but I think it's something you have to get a foundation for, at least now. Therapy helps too. If you haven't already commented your life update, please do down below. Leave me a nice fatty paragraph. I don't want this to be a one-way narcissist street right here. I want it to be two-way. So help me with that if you want. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time. Hopefully it's soon. And Cather out.